The workers in this state office building are an important community within the community of Juneau, and taken together, they're an important part in determining the character of this town. But although they may be lumped together as one group, just like every other group, they're composed of individuals, and they all have different outlooks and different interests.
Look official.
All right.
And
did you talk to that person who called yesterday about not sending an application? You got that one taken care of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't really, she was confused as to when the program ended and when it started. So.
Sounds good.
There are more than 3,500 state employees in Juneau. Wendy Wolf is one of them. She's in charge of a program that helps low-income Alaskans pay for their fuel. Like many state employees, Wendy Wolf spends most of her day behind a desk.
Wendy?
Yeah?
Excuse me, there's a client for you on line 1.
Thanks.
This is Wendy Wolf. Can I help you? And when did you mail it? Okay, well, let me just check on the status of that.
In addition to work, Wendy's interests run toward the arts and the wilderness. It's having access to them all that attracts her to Juneau.
I really love Juneau because you can have fascinating jobs like this, but you can turn around and walk 6 blocks and be on a mountaintop, or you can get in a skiff and go out to a cabin that's in the middle of nowhere.
It's that cabin in the wilderness that occupies most of Wendy's free time and some of her thoughts during office time.
When it's beautiful out there, I can hardly sit still because I go, gee, if it's nice out there, I wonder what it's like in Lynn Canal. Would I be able to get across? And then when I'm really, it's like Thursday or Friday and I'm getting ready to think about going, then I turn on my trusty little weather radio.
Marine forecast for southeast Alaska issued at 4 a.m. Tuesday.
Wendy bought land on the west side of Lynn Canal in 1981 and began building her cabin in 1982. It's been her weekend destination ever since.
If I leave work at 4:30 on a Friday afternoon, go home, throw the food in the cooler, change clothes, go pick up whoever's coming along, get the boat, get to Amalga Harbor, it's about an hour and a half. I mean, I've gotten it down to a science. And I don't feel totally relaxed until that moment. The boat has definitely kicked on, and everyone's in, and everything's packed, and I pull around that bend, and then it's like, that's when it hits me. It always hits me just then, for some reason. It's like the transition takes place, because I know from then on, you know, I'm gone. I'm in my other life. I mean, when I first came to Alaska, I wanted to build a cabin in the woods. I remember reading a National Geographic's article about some people who built a cabin near Denali. And I remember thinking, oh, wouldn't that be neat? And then I moved up here and I was working for state parks and I met those people. I mean, this was National Geographic's come to life. But I realized the longer I worked for state parks, the less chance I would ever have of having summer to myself. And all I did was spend time helping everybody else have a great time in Alaska. So one day it dawned on me that I really needed to either change my lifestyle and give up work completely, which I couldn't afford to do, or find a way to work to support a lifestyle that I could have part of the time.
The part-time lifestyle took the form of this 2-story wilderness home measuring 16 by 20. Each floor is one open room. She designed it to be comfortable and accommodate lots of friends. All the construction materials were transported by boat, and since this was Wendy's first construction project, she got friends to help.
I had a really good friend help at the very beginning who knew a lot about framing, and he was real instrumental in getting it off the ground. And then after that, it's just whoever I could scrounge up. Hey, there's a lot of crab and beer. You want to come on over and we'll put on a deck. And then the rest I've just done myself. Someone gave me a book called Against the Grain, A Carpenter's Manual for Women. And I just say, gee, I think I want to put the siding on. I'll start flipping through it, figuring it out.
There's been lots of opportunities to flip those pages because, just like an old house in town, a new cabin in the woods always has something that needs to be finished, repaired, or improved.
I'm not sure if done is a concept in recreational cabins. I need to put the siding on the outside, and I've got some of that, but once I see how far that goes, I know I'm going to need to get more. And I need to do all the inside trim work and finish parts of it. So there's a lot of that. And I want to build a tool shed, and I want to put the back door in, and I want to finish the sauna.
Having a wilderness getaway cabin is the dream of many Southeasterners, but for Wendy, the reality behind the dream is that she had to make sacrifices and choices to get this cabin.
It is definitely a drain on my expenses. I mean, by the time I pay my land payment every month and, you know, whatever insurance I need and the cost of the boat and all that, it really adds up. I got out here this spring and the generator didn't work, and it was like, great, and a new generator costs a lot of money, so I was like, how do I do that? So I had a garage sale and made some money and bought a generator. I turned in a lot of old bureaucratic clothes for a new generator. For me, coming out here all the time has limited other things for me. So, I mean, I've never been to Hawaii. I don't go on vacations to other places. For me, it's real important, but I think other people have that other thing that's important to them, whether it's soccer or kayaking or you name it. I just have chosen a different outlet.
Wendy learned early in the cabin building process not to feel guilty if she didn't work all the time. And to make the free time as pleasant as possible, she added the things to the cabin that she likes.
Propane stove so I can bake and cook, and I have all the accoutrements that I would have in my kitchen at home. I mean, I'm probably one of the few cabins that has a garlic press, a coffee grinder, good coffee thermoses. I really like to have all the things that make for home. And I have sheets and blankets and some sleeping bags instead of all sleeping bags, and a real bed instead of, you know, a pad on the floor. So it's just cozy.
Another part of the coziness has been installing propane lights so she can read, an activity that frequently takes place in the coziest spot in the house, the upstairs bed fitted into the dormer located under the skylight. Of course, if all someone wanted was to stay cozy, it would be far easier just to stay home. For Wendy, the attraction of a wilderness cabin is also the attraction of a wilderness walk.
It's like recharging your batteries to be around the water. I can't imagine not living somewhere where you could have the water. And so I could walk up and down that same stretch of beach every day for the rest of my life and never be bored, because it's always different. I mean, whatever's out there, it's always different and it's always the same. And it's very peaceful but very exciting. There's part of me that really wants to do that and be part of society and have a productive career and all that. And the other part of me wants to stay over here and read every book that was ever written and walk on the beach and do all that, but I can't. So if this fits me perfectly, I can do both.
This week on Rain Country, we've been looking at different Southeast communities by living within a larger one, by being honored by one, and by creating your own. And our regular community meeting will return next week at the same time when we look at more of the Southeast community that makes up Rain Country's backyard. I'm Scott Foster. Think well of your neighbor.